أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا ربنا زدنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا ربنا زدنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Can everyone hear me? Okay, alhamdulillah, most people can hear. Okay, today's topic is Sihr of Tatil. Sihr of Tatil. I'll advise you to have pen and a notebook because we've been covering the many types of sihr, and inshallah we'll be covering more types of sihr and evil eye and jinn position and so forth and so on. So I would highly recommend all of you to have a notepad and you take notes so you become more aware of these types of sihr and you are more knowledgeable regarding this matter because the Muslim community at the moment need it desperately for people to know exactly what is bothering them and how then they can treat themselves and treat their families. Okay, so today's topic is Sihr Al-Tatil, which is translated as Sihr of obstruction, but you can translate it as Sihr as blockages also, Sihr of blockages. Now this sihr is a sihr that is the most comprehensive sihr in the sense of it includes many aspects of people's life. It impacts and affects many aspects of people's life and living. Okay, so in that sense it is the most comprehensive sihr as it includes many things, many aspects of a person's life. However, even though it's the most comprehensive, it is the most you can say it is the most easiest, or it is the easiest to treat and break. Out of all the sihr, this sihr is the easiest to treat and break. What is the evidence of Sihr Tatil. The evidence is in Surah Falaq. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. في العقد. And we seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil of those who blow in the knots. In the knots. Now this verse has two manifestations. This has two manifestations, this verse. The first manifestation is the general meaning of the verse. The general meaning of the verse, which is to do with any sihr where not is done. So this can include sihr al-tafriq, this can include sihr al-ishq, sihr of separation, and sihr of love, obsessive and possessive love. It can also include sihr of shahawat, sihr of desires. Yeah, it could include all of them. So that first includes all sihr that is done by blowing inside and then doing the knot. Okay. The second manifestation of this verse is the Sihr of Tatil. Is Sihr of Tatil, which is those who tie knots in your life in order to obstruct your life, derail your life, block your life, make your life very, very miserable. Yeah. So the first meaning of the verse, manifestation of the verse, is general sihr, and the second meaning of this verse is specific to do with sihr of Tatil. Waqad, yes, your life, and they put around your life knots. These knots are to obstruct you in having a good life, upright lives, good prosperous life. They put the uqad, barriers around your life, basically. Okay. So these sihr that are done, not all sihr will have knots. Not necessarily all sihr will have knots. Okay, but sihr al-Tatil will have knots. Okay, let's write this down. This is very important. Not all sihr will have knots. They may do sihr, it could be a doll. It doesn't have to be a knot. Okay, but when it comes to sihr al-Tatil, they will do knots. The magician will do knots, and these knots are simply to put barriers between you and your happy life or content life or prosperous life. Okay. Now, Sihr al-Tatil can be done by other sihr, but it will have, the point is, it will have knots involved. And that's why can you leave the questions until then, because everyone's putting questions in and I can see them, and this is obstructing me from giving the lecture, okay, disturbing me. So can you just leave the questions for now, please, and until I finish the lecture. Okay. Okay, so every Sihr al-Tatil will have some knots involved. Okay, so therefore the best treatment for you, once you know you have Sihr al-Tatil upon you, I'll give you the size inshallah. Once you know you got Sihr al-Tatil upon you, the best treatment is this verse. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. Yeah, you keep repeating that verse, and because the knots are on your body, use your right hands, say Bismillah, blow on your right hands like that. Recite the verse, you can blow it on your hands, and then wipe your body anti-clockwise, because they do the knots clockwise. Wipe your body anti-clockwise, slowly, right? So, for example, you feel the knots in your heart anti-clockwise, you do the wiping like this, okay? While you recite Surah Falaq and you focus on the verse, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ, and you can start off making this circles anti-clockwise big, and then make it small. So you start, for example, like this all over your chest, and then make it smaller and smaller, the circles. Okay, also you can start the other way around. So you can start small, and then you can make the circles bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, and then see which one's impacting you the most. The circles that you start with big and then go small, do they make you feel more relieved, right? Or is it the other way around? The circles which you start off small, right, and then make it bigger, do they make you feel relieved? If there's no difference, then do both. If there is difference, then focus on the one that is making you feel relieved more, focus on that. So if it's small circles, do small circles and then big. If it's big circles, then small circles, then do big circles first and then small circles. Okay. What are the signs of Sihr Tatil? What are the signs of Sihr Tatil? Because Sihr Tatil is something to do with the heart and something to do with the mind, it's all internal. So you are the one who doesn't want to do something. Yeah, be it seeking, going out and seeking education, be it seeking employment, be it seeking a spouse. Yeah, all of this you do not want to go out and do it. So it's a feeling inside you that you don't want to learn and study, for example. You don't want to seek employment. So it's a deep feeling inside your soul where you don't want to go to university. You don't want to go to college. You don't want to go to school, right? You don't want to go into work. So first, the feeling of not wanting is there. Even though, for example, you are good at your studies, you are talented in your studies, or even though you know that you want to study, or you can study, yeah, or even though you know that you need employment, you can't rely on your parents, or you can't rely upon your elder brother or elder sister, or you know that you want to get married, for example, yeah, your age has reached marriage age and is going above, so you want to get married, but you feel that there's rejection in your heart. Okay, so this is the first sign. The first sign is something normal that every human being wants to do, wants to attain, wants to yearn for. You in your heart, you in your mind reject it. You in your heart and you in the mind reject it. You don't want it. Okay. Now you don't want it directly by yourself, but you want it if someone else gives it to you. So, for example, you don't want to exhaust your effort to get the employment, but if someone else gives the employment to you, or does the application for you, does the CV for you, then you're happy. You thank them and you appreciate them. You could be also driving, learning how to drive. You don't want to go to the lessons, but if someone else pays for you that money, and then also, he makes the effort to come to you to teach you, right? He knocks on your door, like spoon feeds you, literally holds your hand to teach you how to drive. You appreciate them. That means, what does that mean? That means you actually want to learn how to drive. You actually want the employment, right? But deep down in your soul, deep down in your heart, something's preventing, something's stopping. So there's two things happening here. There's you that wants it. And how do you know want it? Because if someone does that for you, you appreciate them. You really appreciate, you thank them, So you want it. But deep down, there's something there that's preventing you, stopping you. That's a sign of Sihr adapted. This happens a lot with education. This happens a lot with employment. And this happens a lot also businesses. And also, I think in the beginning stages, it starts with education, and then move slowly. It starts with driving, learning how to drive. That you see that if someone helps you with the theory, helps you with the practical, really holds your hand, and you enjoy it. But you yourself don't proactively seek them out. Yeah, and then it starts with employment. These are telltale signs that you may have Sihr Tatil. And it manifests in a very, very severe manner in marriage and also in business. As soon as you go into those two, then if you have Sihr Tatil, it really, really manifests upon you in a very severe manner. So when it comes to marriage, you don't want to get married. Even if you don't want to get married, you will have severe problems between yourself and your spouse. And similarly, when it comes to business, even if you try to get into business, you'll have severe problems meeting deadlines, fulfilling your tasks. You'll always feel lazy, fatigued, and you'll never. Every time you can do any other job, but when it comes to your business, you'll always make excuses. You'll always find ways to not sit down and do the tasks, not sit down and meet their deadlines. So firstly is the feeling of prevention. Secondly, the opposite of that is if someone does it for you, you really appreciate them, you really thank them. There's a sign that in reality, you actually want that job, you actually want the education, you actually want that business, you actually want for you to be able to drive, you actually want to get married, and so forth and so on. So you appreciate the people around you who are helping you in all of those matters. Now let me go in some details of these signs. Okay, let's take the sign of say education. Prevention for you to proceed in education. So what happens? So for example, let's start with nighttime. So what happens at night? What happens at night is like you enjoy going to sleep late. You don't enjoy going to sleep early. You find every reason and excuse to stay up, be it watching documentaries, be it going out, spending time with your friends in restaurants or in pool, right? Playing pool, or just having a chit chat. Whatever it is, you enjoy staying up. So you sleep late. And then you have to wake up for your college or for your university. What happens? You wake up late. You're running late, and then you may have breakfast, you may not have breakfast. You go to college and you're tired and fatigued, right? And when you go there, you're thinking about just getting out of the lecture and talking to your friends or meeting your friends. You're not focusing in the lecture, what is being said there. You're not taking notes. You're not reading, right? You're not asking the questions, right? And if you really want that education career life, you're expecting, right, friends around you to help you out. even though you have the talents, you have the skills to actually learn and know and read, ask questions, do the assignments and so forth. You have the talent, you have the skills, but you're relying on other people around you, your friends especially, to help you out, even maybe even for you to do cheating in order for you to get those degrees. Okay, and then as soon as you're out of the college and university, right? You're spending time with your friends, you're chit-chatting and blah, blah, and you're seeking help from them indirectly and sometimes maybe directly. You're asking them to help you. And you come home and again, you watch the documentaries, movies, whatever, you go home late and again, you want to get up. You're getting up late, you're not having breakfast or you have breakfast on the way or in the college, in the uni. And the cycle continues until a time comes where you feel like you don't want to go through this anymore. You don't want to go through college, you don't want to go through university, right? Or if you do, you're just relying on your friends, even though you have the talents and you have the skills. That's a telltale sign there is Sihr of Tatil upon you. Okay? Same with employment. So you're just sitting there in your house, you're not really looking for employment, right? Something's preventing you, even though you have the skills and talents to look for employment, something's preventing you. If your look is very lazy, laid back, even though you need pocket money, and you're relying on your parents, or you're relying on your elder siblings who are giving you the pocket money, right? And you're relying on them. And even though you know you need the job, you're very laid back. And then you rely on your friends to help you and so forth. So when you get the job eventually, say after 6 months or after a year, after 2 years of looking, instead of you going, waking up early and going, making sure you're suited and you're booted or you're dressed well, you're having showers every day before you go, you're putting a perfume on and you're going out when it comes to the men, right? Or you're dressed nicely, modestly, right? You're ready for the job and you're going there every day, as a Muslim ought to be, he's Ameen, he's trustworthy, he's reliable. You're learning on the job also, you're becoming competent, you're becoming confident in your tasks, in your responsibilities, in your duties. However, it's like you don't want to go. Even though you need the job, and even though you got the job, you don't want to go. You're doing the same thing again. What is that? You're waking up late, you're sleeping late, you're not having breakfast, you're not having food on time, you're going to work, you're not bothered, with the tasks, you're not bothered with the deadlines. And even if the deadlines do come, you're looking out for your colleagues to help you and assist you, be it friends in the workplace, or be it your, they're not your friends, but the people that are under you or the people that are around you, you ask them to help you and assist you in your tasks and your jobs. These are telltale signs again that you have Sihr of Tatil. Let's take the examples of business. You want to do a business, same thing. You're relying on the people around you to do the planning, to do the costs, to do the structure of the business. You rely on other people around you. Even though you've got tasks and deadlines, right? And you've got time, you've got enough time to do things. You're just lazing around, you're just fatigued. You just want to sit down on the computer, or you don't want to sit down on your desk to do the planning, to do the tasks, write down the structures, nothing like that. You just rely on other people to do it. And when the deadline comes, a week or so before, you just go to other people, say, I was busy with my personal life, I was busy with my wife, I was busy with my husband, I was busy with my children. And you start making excuses every single time, and others around you do the tasks and jobs for you. Even though you've got the talent, even though you've got the skill, and even though you've got the time in hand. Now, one must say, what if I don't have the talent and skill, be it in the education, be it in the employment, be it in the business? If you don't have the talent and the skill, then what you will try to do, especially if you want that education, or if you want that employment, or if you want that business, the minimum you will do is you will try to skill up. You will try. So if it's education and you want that degree, the minimum you will do is you will try. So if something prevents you constantly, consistently, every single day, and you get sidetracked, then that's telltale sign they say Tatil. Because if you really want it, you try it. You can't achieve something without trying. So if you don't have the talent and skill for it, the minimum is, as a human being, you will try. After you try and you try and you try, then if it's not for you, then everyone around you will say, you know what, this is not for you. Don't let yourself judge. Let others around you judge that this is not for you or this is for you, because they know your talents and skills more than you actually know your talents and skills. Yeah, especially people who are close to you. So they let them judge and say, you know what, this degree is not for you. Yeah, or this business is not for you, or this job is not for you. Please keep your questions until the end of the lecture, please, brothers and sisters, because you distract me when you post something. Okay, so these are telltale signs there is Sihr of Tatil. Also, family problems. So with your parents, the communication might be very difficult with your parents, or with your siblings, the communication might be very difficult. Understanding one another. There can be a lot of misunderstandings between the siblings or between the parents and the children. Yeah. There could be also a lot of expectation between parents upon the children, or from the children upon the parents, or amongst the siblings. There could be a lot of expectations. And the bulk of the work, it could be of the family, could be left on one individual or two individuals. Yeah. That's another sign that there is Sihr of Tatil on the family, because when there's many siblings, right, everyone is meant to do their duties and fulfill their roles. But if it's left with one or two individual, right, doing everything in the family, and the rest are just relying upon them, that's also telltale sign, especially if there's misunderstandings, and there's a lot of arguments, and there's no communication, then that's another telltale sign there's Sihr of Tatil. Another sign is you'll feel anxious. So when you want to, for example, driving lessons, when the person is coming to take you to drive, you feel anxious. When you're in the car, you feel anxious. When you're driving, you feel your inside is like it's chaos. You're not aware of the mirrors. You're not aware of what's happening behind you. You're not aware of what's happening around you. It's like your mind is all over the place. You cannot focus. Yeah, there could be a car or a bicycle that's coming. You can see in the mirror. You can see in the front window. You can see on the mirrors on the sides, but you miss it. Your eyes cannot see it. It's because there's chaos going on inside you, in your heart, in your mind. That's also a telltale sign that Sihr Tatil. Yeah, it could be simple as a signature. It could be simple as taking a photo of yourself. It could be simple as fulfilling the application, but you feel a lot of anxiety. You feel a lot of anxiety putting your name down, putting your details down, writing the signature. You feel a lot of anxiety. Yeah, that's a clear sign. That's a clear sign. This is the clearest sign that you have Sihr of Tatil. So it could be, for example, interview to the job that day, right? That night you feel a lot of anxiety. When you go in there, you feel shaking, even though you haven't met the people who's not interview you. When you go there, your mind is all over the place. Yeah, your heart is pumping, right? You don't know what you're saying. Your throat becomes very dry. Yeah, you become very, very nervous, beyond the normal average nervousness. Yeah, You start shaking inside, your hands might start shaking. All of these are, with all the other signs that we mentioned, and then you have anxiety. The anxiety is a clear sign that you have Sihr of Tatil. Same with your siblings. To go to the house, you feel anxiety. When you sit around them, you feel anxiety. Yeah? These are also sign of Sihr of Tatil. Same with their college and university exam. When exam comes or deadline comes, you feel anxiety. When you're in the rooms, you feel tremendous anxiety within you, and your mind goes blank or is unable to focus. Even though you've got the time and space to focus, like when you're in the car, you have enough time and space to focus. Even 20 minutes you can take time, but still you feel, even the whole 1 hour and a half or 2 hours of driving, you are unable to look at the mirror and see if there's a car there or not there. See if there's a bicycle there or not there, right? Say, well, in dual carriageway, you're indicating going to the right, for example, in dual carriageway, but you still cannot figure out through the mirror if there's a car coming or not coming. You still can't figure out the lanes and stuff like this. Yeah, you feel that's because there's anxiety in your heart that's blocking your mind from seeing things properly. Okay. So in Sihr Tatil, the anxiety, like many other sihr, the anxiety becomes like a clear sign with all the other signs. If you put them together, the anxiety part becomes a clear sign that you have Sihr of Tatil. Now, why does anxiety take place? It takes place because you're going to do now what the opposite of what the Sihr wanted. What did the Sihr want? The Sihr want that you do not do the driving. The Sihr want that you do not go college, you do not go to university. The Sihr want that you do not do the exams and pass. The Sihr wanted that you do not fulfill the applications of jobs and get into interviews and pass the interviews. The Sihr did not want any of that. Okay, so because you're very close now doing the thing that Sihr did not want, the Sihr is triggered. Yeah, the Sihr is triggered, and that's why now it gives you the anxiety. Exactly. All you have to do is calm yourself, make wudu. If you can make wudu, make wudu. Recite Falaq al-Nas, repeat it, wipe over yourself, wipe over your heart, do the anti-clockwise of wiping, relax, right, before the interview or before you go to college or before you go to university or before you go to your job or before you go to the marriage or before you go to your parents' house or your siblings' house. Just relax, just calm. Do wudu. If it means pray to rak'ah calmly, nicely, right, slowly. Recite the du'as of morning and evening. Recite the quls, blow over yourself, and then do the wiping over your chest and over your head anti-clockwise. Relax for a while. Lay down, relax. Do your adhkar, take deep breaths, breathe out loudly, right? Relax. An hour and a half if you do that before the actual interview of the job or before you actually go to the exam or before you actually go to the marriage proposal or before you actually go to your parents' house or siblings' house, whoever you have Sihr Tatil against or whatever you have Sihr Tatil against, if you just relax, take some time out, zone out for a while, take that space and do the following steps. So make wudu, pray to rak'ah salah, do your morning and evening adhkar, wipe over your body, do the wiping over your hand, over your mind anti-clockwise while you're reciting. If it means even having a good breakfast, it's important. If it means having a shower, it's also part of that. If it means having a tea and a coffee, hot drinks, do that, right? If it means applying, wearing nice clothes, clean clothes, fresh clothes, do that. If it means applying a good itar and so forth, do that. Then go to your college, then go to the university, then go to the exams, then go and sit down for your fulfilling your task. If it's your job, sit down, do that. So do the ghusl, have big breakfast, have big lunch, right? And then wear fresh clothes, put itar on, put perfume on, sit down in a laptop and do the tasks, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, so if you take all of those means, you will see slowly, you will be able to break Sihr of Tatil from yourself and from your family. Okay, if you know someone has Sihr Tatil in your family, you can tell that they are always anxious, or in your friends, you find that they are always anxious, they are always relying on you to do their tasks, to do their job, right? And they feel very anxious. What do you do? Yeah, what do you do? Firstly, you have to have patience towards them. You have to have patience towards them. Okay, that's the first. You have to forbear. Remember, simplest tasks, easiest tasks for them will be so difficult because of the barrier in the mind, the heart, in the mind they feel, and secondly, the anxiousness they have. Okay, so you have to have sabr, bags of sabr towards them, and then you have to do some tasks for them. So, for example, writing their CV down for them, printing out for them, yeah, filling the application for them if it's job. Okay, but once you do some, leave some for them. Leave some for them. So you've done the application, for example, right at the end, they need to sign. Right at the end, they need to add the picture. That part, leave it for them. Same with the CV. You've written most of the CV. Right at the end, about you're gonna write about the hobbies. Just leave it to them. Say, look, I'm gonna sit with you, and I want you to write your hobbies. Right? So sit down with them and make them do some of the tasks. By them doing some of the tasks, they will be able to overcome the barrier. And you tell them, say, look, first you were not able to sit down, you were not able to write this, but now you were able to overcome and write this. So slowly take baby steps, slowly get them to do some of the tasks. You will have to do the majority of the tasks in the beginning, but get them to do some. By them doing the some, eventually, for example, they're afraid to drive. So you book the driving lessons for them. When the instructor comes, you go with them in the actual car and you say, look, I'm here with you. Learn how to drive, don't worry. And whilst the instructor is saying, look left and look right, you also, after a while, say, did you look right? Did you look left? Okay, next time he might say, no, I did not look right, I did not, I just indicated, I just went. So then he said, okay, next time, make sure you indicate and like this. That's how you help them. Slowly, take baby steps and you make them clear. So just before they indicate right again, you say his name is Mas'ud. Mas'ud indicate, before indicate right, check the mirrors. And then you process with them. You say, can you see any car coming? Can you see any bicycles coming? Get him to reply. If he says, no, I can't see any car coming, I can't see any bikes coming, you ask him again, are you sure, Mas'ud? Are you sure, Mas'ud? So when you say, are you sure, Mas'ud, now he's going to look at properly in the mirror to see if there's a car coming or if there's a bicycle coming. And then you say, okay, now indicate. Because the instructor will not notice that he's going through Sihr of Tatil. So by you being in the car, you can then make him slow the process down, by which then he can focus and have clarity in his heart and his mind. All it is just going through the practical steps, someone helping them and making the process slow, baby step. Soon as a person does that, right, they begin to internally break the Sihr Tatil slowly but surely. Obviously, then they have to do the spiritual treatment, which is the general one, like ghusl every day with recited water, applying the recited oil all over the body, leaving the Quran on 24 hours in their house, spraying their house after every salah, or at least twice a day, or whenever they feel the anxiety, having black seeds with the intention of breaking the Sihr of Tatil, having honey with the intention of also breaking the Sihr of Tatil, and so forth. So general treatment, but you make the specific intention of breaking the Sihr of Tatil, and the most important one is specifically Surah Falaq and the verse from Shaykh Abu Ubaid, and you wipe your body, especially where you feel the anxiety or you feel the blockages, right, which is your heart and then your mind. You wipe it anti-clockwise with the intention of burning away and undoing the knots. So somewhere, for example, your business partner, they have Sihr of Tatil, for example, on them. So what do? You know they're struggling with the deadlines and tasks. So what do? You sit down with them. You make an appointment. You sit down with them, and you say, okay, let's do the tasks together, right? Ask them to make wudu, sit down with the tasks, and then say, okay, let's do the tasks together. While you're doing the tasks, ask them, are you clear on the task? What is not clear to you? And then make the process slow. Remember, they're talented and they're skilled, but because of Sihr of Tatil, everything becomes mumble and jumble. Everything becomes to them not clear, foggy. So what you have to do is take it slowly. When you take it slowly, right, they are calm. Once they are calm, then everything becomes clear to them. And then you just have to hold their hand and do some of the tasks. And as soon as they do some of the tasks, and then they can do the slowly the rest. Just be with them, and that way you can break it. Sihr of Tatil generally, it doesn't take long to break it. It doesn't take long to break it, as long as there's somebody or someone helping them in taking baby steps, zooming them out from their anxiety, giving them a helping hand, sitting down with them, going through the process slowly, and they do the treatment of RUQYA. It doesn't take more than 2 years. It doesn't matter how severe Sihr of Tatil is. It doesn't take more than 2 years to break the sihr. The only exception can be Sihr Tatil al-Zawaj, Sihr that prevents you from getting married, or Sihr anything with marriage. Then that is more severe, because they do the Sihr Tatil first, and then they do specifically Sihr on marriage, and that's why it becomes a bit more complicated, a bit more severe. But if it's just Sihr Tatil, just Sihr generally on your life and prosperity regarding your life, then it doesn't matter how severe it is. It doesn't take more than 2 years to break the Sihr of Tatil. I hope I have covered most of the things. Inshallah, the matters maybe I have not covered. If you ask the question, inshallah ta'ala, I'll be able to cover them, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khair. Taqabbalallahu minna wa minkum salih al-a'mal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you have any questions, just raise your hands. And then inshallah, I'll try to answer them. One question for every person, please. One question for every person. Keep your questions brief and precise and concise. Okay. Bismillah, Ayman.
Assalamu alaikum. So the question is, Ustad, if the patient is unwilling to follow through with the treatment, what can we do?
Yeah, you actually help them. You actually do some of the things for them. So for example, if they are not going to driving lessons, for example, you actually book the driving lesson for them. Yeah, you actually on that day be with them to take them to driving lessons. You actually be in the car and so forth. So you have to actually do some of the tasks for them. So if it's an interview job, you have to actually do some of the applications and so forth.
Can I do the actual recitation for them and rub on them you know, anti-clockwise, clockwise, all of that, the spiritual side of it.
Remember, Tatil is not something practical also. So both have to be done.
Okay.
Just the spiritual treatment will not be enough. They have to proactively also do the things they're being prevented from. So it could be a job, it could be a driving, it could be business tasks. So you have to do, the people around them have to do some of the tasks for them, which is being prevented.
Okay, Jazakallah khair.
While you do the treatment also. The treatment, play the Quran in the house, spray their house, ask them to do the showers, apply the recited oil, and yes, just ask them to recite and blow over, especially وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ. Okay, next. Hawaii. Hawaii P3P30 Pro. Bismillah. Did you unmute them? How do you unmute them, Rajim? Ask to unmute that one. Unmute yourself.
So they should have got a message asking them.
Unmute yourself. Hawaii. You need to unmute yourself. Okay, Shanaz, Sister Shanaz.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Can Sihr of Tatil be done together with this particular Sihr? And how do you treat it if so? You know, the feeling of not being, wanting to be married anymore, or something like that.
Yes, generally, obviously every sihr is a blockage, right? Generally every sihr is blockage, unless it's sihr ishq. Then that's the only one that's not blockage. But generally speaking, every sihr has sihr of blockage. So what do? You just intend. Once you know, okay, this sihr is to separate me from my spouse, then you intend to burn away sihr al-tafriq, as also you intend to burn away sihr al-tatil if you believe that in the rest of your life you have blockages, right? That's how you know. If you have blockages in the rest of other matters of your life, so employment, business, education, with your parents or with your children, right? Then it's not only simply sihr al-tafriq. There's more sihr there. So then intend through the treatments, breaking of sihr al-tafriq and breaking of Sihr Tatil, inshallah.
So you do the same thing as you've done with the intention of Sihr of Tatil.
Yeah.
To rub the oil anti-clockwise on your heart and your head.
Yeah.
Intention is important.
Yeah, without intention, it will not work because it will hide away.
Okay, excellent. Shukran.
Okay, Mubashira. Mubashira, you can unmute yourself.
Is this sihr can cause any type of disease?
Say that again, sister.
Is this sihr can cause any type of disease?
If it's at a severe level, then yes, it can, but this has to be verified by a specialist RUQYA and also the doctors. So if you go to doctors, they can't find anything, or if they can find anything, they are unable to treat you, or the treatment is not working. So either they are unable to treat you, or the treatment is not working, right? Then go and see a specialist RUQYA, expert RUQYA, and then see if his treatments work, which just reciting just giving you recited oil and see if that works. If that works, then alhamdulillah, there may be a sihr ta'til on yourself or on the person. The only way for you to know if you have any spiritual illness is that the doctor's treatment, medical doctor's treatment is not working, right? And the Raqis treatment is working. Then you know that this is more of a spiritual illness. Okay, Musa. Unmute. Musa.
Assalamu alaikum. Does it necessarily have to be sihr, or can it be ayn or hasad?
Say that again.
Does it necessarily have to be sihr? Can it be ayn or hasad too?
Okay, when it comes to ayn, it will be specific. When it comes to ayn and hasad, it will be specific. So if someone gave you ayn against job, your anxiety will be only regarding job. It won't be regarding marriage. It won't be regarding education. Yeah, it will be just regarding your job. Ayn and hasad are very, very specific. As for sihr, right, it will be in every aspect of your life. But again, to verify it, obviously go and see a specialist, expert Raqi, upper Raqi, and he, inshallah ta'ala, will be able to verify, inshallah ta'ala. Another way to verify by yourself, if you recite وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ, so for example, you've got a prevention regarding job. When you recite وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ on your anxiety or on around your head, right? You don't feel there's knots. You don't feel there's knots. When you do anti-clockwise, you don't feel you're getting better, you're healing, or you're improving, or your anxiousness going down. But when you recite وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ, right, you feel your anxiety is getting more severe, or you are improving. Then you know, like, okay, it's not sihr, it's hasad, it's ayn. That's another way of, well, that's more like explicit way of knowing whether you have sihr or whether you have ayn. Is that clear? Muhammad. Brother Muhammad, if you can unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Shaykh, I wanted to ask you, how do you deal with a family member who has seeked wrong methods like black magic to deal with black magic? I myself, I'm doing RUQYA, but it feels like my RUQYA is not efficient because of the rest of the family members.
Leave the Quran on. Leave the Quran on 25 a day in the house with the intention of burning away the sihr and the magician shayateen and the shayateen in the house. Make lots of du'as for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring down barakah and rahmah and sakina in your house. Also invite righteous upright people to food in your house, because when they come, they bring angels with them. And when they come, if you, I've witnessed one severe case in my lifetime, very severe case, and what they used to do, because it was so severe, after all the treatments, nothing was working. What they used to do, just invite every week, every Friday, Jummah after Jummah, they used to invite righteous people, imams, mashayikh of the village, or next village, the village after. They'd constantly, every Friday, they invite people to eat. And eventually, subhanAllah, slowly, the sihr and everything broke. Obviously, how did that happen? Because when the righteous come, upright people come, sincere, honest people, firstly, they make du'as. It's
Sure.
not like they're poor. They could be rich people you're inviting, but they're righteous, the upright people. So they come, they bring gifts for you, just sincerely, honestly. They make dua for you. And obviously, there are angels who come with them. And when the angels come, obviously, they're shouting, they flee. Wherever there are angels, they are shouting, they flee.
Barakallah feek.
So if you have long-term sihr or long-term ayn and it's not breaking, you're doing all the treatments, then invite righteous upright people from your local community, connect with them, bond with them, and receive the du'as and receive the gifts. And inshallah ta'ala, that will hopefully cure you, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Hawaii again, please unmute yourself.
Assalamualaikum. I just wanted to ask a question regarding to black magic. What's the best way to tackle it? What can I do for myself?
Okay. So that again?
What can I do for myself?
For?
What can I do for myself? What can I recite on a daily basis?
Regarding what? What is the issue?
Black magic.
Okay. Firstly, everyone, my brothers and sisters, the general treatment is this. You play the Quran 24 hours in the house for the Quran to do khatam. Yeah? Was this kalam of Allah? When the kalam of Allah is recited, the angels gather. And the shayateen, they flee. So play the Quran. If you cannot recite the Quran, if you're finding it difficult to recite the Quran, play the Quran in the house, 24 hours. Let it do khatam. If you get used to a reciter, change that reciter. Okay? As I said so many times before, the verse that says when the Quran is recited, you listen to it attentively. That verse is specific to do with salah. So when the imam is reciting the Quran loudly, you don't recite anything. You as a muqtadi, you as someone who's following in the jama'ah of the imam, you don't recite, you listen to the imam what is reciting. So that verse is specific to do with imam reciting the salah, maghrib and Isha and Fajr salah loudly. So that verse is not to do with listen to the Quran in your houses, for example. Someone reciting in the house, in your room or in the sitting room, and you have to listen to it. No, it doesn't mean that. Okay, so I hope that is clear. So you can play the Quran, inshallah, in the house, leave it on with the intention that this tilawa, this recitation, breaks and burns away the sihr, especially the magician shayateen in the house, and the main sihr in the house, that it burns away. With that intention, you play the Quran. Sooner or later, you'll see your hearts are getting softer. Your hearts are inclining to worship. Your hearts and your mind is able to think clear. The fog in your heart is removing slowly. Then start doing the adhan in every room, right? If you can 5 times adhan, if you do in every single room, right? Sisters, you can do it because you're going to pray in the house. Do the adhan. Every room, do the adhan and then pray in the main room, jama'ah or alone, whichever way, right? Jama'ah, if you have, if the masjid is far from your house, do jama'ah, do the adhan and for every salah, and do the jama'ah. If the masjid is close, the men go and pray in the masjid. The women, they do the adhan in every room, and then they can pray in every room individually. That will break away and you sihr in that room, right? Then spray the house. You can minimum spray the house twice, once in the morning, once in the evening. But I usually say, especially severe cases, I say spray the house after every salah. So you prayed your salah and made the dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to break away the sihr, to break away the evil eye, to burn away the shayateen, right? Then get up, blow inside the water, because you recited, you made the du'as, you made the salah and salam upon Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You did all of the dhikr and adhkar that are so like powerful, they are all tawheed, which goes against kufr and disbeliefs and arrogance and pride and envy and jealousy. It goes against all of that. So blow inside that water. You can recite more and then spray the house. Do it slowly. And when you are spraying, recite very slowly the Surah Fatiha, Ayatul Kursi, the Quls, or do the adhan again, no problem. Okay, spray the whole house. Out of the toilet, just cover the toilet, right, and spray around that bathroom. Next is ghusl. Recited ghusl every day. If it's severe case, I say do ghusl twice a day. If it's not severe, if it's average, then ghusl every day will suffice, especially before you go to sleep. The ghusl, as for the sisters, you don't have to wash your hair, just sprinkle your hair with recited water. But the body, wash your body with recited water. Then apply shampoos or shower gels, recite on the shower gels, recite on the shampoo, or even the soap, recite on it, blow on it, and then apply on your body. Any other thing like cedar leaves, senna leaves, just you can wipe your body with it. If you don't have that ginger, garlic, just recite on them, blow on them, and then wipe your body with the intention of breaking away the sihr upon your body. After you do the ghusl, then apply the recited oil. Black seed oil is better, but if you cannot have black seed oil, if it's too strong for you, then you can use strong olive oil, pure olive oil, recite on it. Again, put olive oil all over your body. If you feel there's knots there, there's pins there, anti-clockwise, wipe your that area with the intention of burning away the sihr and the evil and the shayateen. If the case is more severe, right, then apply recited itr, right, on your body on top of the oil. So you apply the oil, black seed oil or olive oil, then on top of that, apply recited itr all over your body, especially the places where you feel there's pins, there's needles, or there's glasses, or there's knots, or there's barriers. Apply there the recited itr. The stronger the itr, the better. Okay. Also, burn bakhur, recite on bakhur, burn it, especially in your room. If you feel there's presence of shayateen, big shayateen, massive shayateen, or you see nightmares, right? Burn bakhur with the intention, make the intention. You can even say it out loud. Wallah, burn the original sihr on our family. Wallah, burn the main sihr upon our family. Wallah, burn the magician shayateen upon our family. And then blow inside the musk, right? And then burn it. Yeah. If you feel scared, get up and then spray the whole house before you go to sleep. Put some itr on your bed, spray the bed, put some itr on your headboard, spray the headboard, put some itr in your nose, in your ears, right, in your fingernails, in your foot nails, and then inshallah go to sleep with wudu. Hopefully nothing will happen, inshallah. These are the basic treatments that every one of us should follow. And as I said, if someone follows these treatments consistently, constantly, right, no sihr can last more than 2 years. FC. Bismillah. Okay, RUQYA A.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum
Jazakallah khairan for the lecture. I was going to ask, can you describe how to do the ruqya for untying the knots again quickly, please?
Basically, so you recite generally Fatiha, Ayat al-Kursi, the last verse of Surah Baqarah, the quls, right? And if you feel you have knots in your body, be it on your heart or be it in your mind, you wipe your heart anti-clockwise because they do the knots clockwise. You do it, you recite, and you repeat it, and you wipe your chest and your head, for example, anti-clockwise. Now you can do circles big, see if that impacts you the most, you feel more relief like that, or you can do the circle small and see if that impacts you the most. So if it's big, you do the big ones first and then you make it smaller and smaller, the circles. Or if it's the other way around, you do small circles first and then you do the big circles. See which one impacts you the most. Whichever one impacts you the most, adhere to that one, inshallah.
Okay, Jazakallah khairan.
I don't think there's any more questions. There's questions, I think, on chat. Let me just check quick. How do I check the chat for questions? How do you differentiate between pure laziness, psychological anxiety, learning disability, and sihr? As I said, you recite the Quran and you see when you recite the Quran, does your anxiety increase immediately or does it decrease immediately? If it increases immediately when you recite the verses of وَمِنْ شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِنْ شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ, and you repeat it, it increases immediately, or it decreases immediately, or you feel relieved immediately, that's spiritual. The only way, as I said in some of my lectures, the only way you can distinguish between a spiritual illness and a mental, physical illness is by reciting the Quran. And when you recite the Quran, it impacts you immediately when you make the intention, oh Allah, if I have sihr or if I have ayn, oh Allah, cure me, whilst you're reciting those particular verses, right? If it impacts you immediately, be it increases, or be it decreases, or be it you feel relief, then that's a spiritual illness. It's more spiritual illness. Okay, mobile cupping clinic. You can ask your question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Can I just go through a quick history before I ask the question? It's not too long, inshallah. Yeah, but basically 2 years ago, me and my wife went through RUQYA, and we established obviously jinn and all that, etc., hasad and whatnot, and then we established that one of the jinns are trying to take an egg out of my belly.
Out of your belly?
An egg that I ate when I was in Bangladesh when I was about 10 years old, and we think that's the sihr, what the jinn is trying to take out. But at the moment, well, then we've done RUQYA treatment, etc. Things will be better, but we still think the sihr and hasad, all that stuff, still roaming around. So we do recite sort of Baqarah and every day and Adhkar and Salah, but I feel what's it called? I still like anxious, and sometimes the jinns will surface randomly, and even at night I'll get attacked quite a lot. Even doing Adhkar, I'll get attacked at night time, and something holding me down. Then I just do my Adhkar and go back to sleep.
Question?
That is a question. How do I tackle that? How do I?
Okay. Firstly, intention. Make sure you intend. So the intention, the 5 intentions. Let me just go through them. The first one is you intend for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to, through the Quran, to make the qareen, your qareen shaitan, a Muslim. If he does not become Muslim, then through the Quran, through the treatments, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make the qareen surrender for you to do khair.
Okay.
That's the first intention. The second intention you make is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to burn away the magician shayateen through your treatments. The magician shayateen. The third intention you make for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the treatment, especially the Quran, obviously, to burn away the main and the original sihr that was done on your family.
Okay.
The fourth intention you make for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to burn away the sihr the shaitan that has come with the evil eye. The main shaitan that has come with the evil eye. That's the fourth intention. And the fifth intention is you make for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to burn away the shaitan that has not come with the sihr nor with the evil eye. Be it desire, be it lust, or be it vengeance or oppression. It could come out of lust, it could come out of vengeance, or it could come out of oppression. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to burn away that shaitan. Now, when you do the treatment, do each of these intentions for 20 minutes, each one of them, and see which one impacts you the most. Rate it. And the ones which is the most, prioritize those intentions for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour in your recitations, in your adhkar, in your wiping of your body while you're reciting, right? Prioritize those intentions. In your spraying, prioritize those intentions. In your ghusl, prioritize those intentions, And then you will see slowly, you are winning the battle, and eventually you will win the war, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah.
How do I go down, Rajib? Just do that.
Yeah, 2 fingers. It's 2 fingers.
That's a skill and a half. Any more questions?
Some of it sounds like, okay, I think you answered that.
If you're doing treatment for a long time, I just focus on the 5 intentions. Intention is key. Focus on the 5 intentions, see which one impacts it the most, and prioritize the intentions accordingly. I've been afflicted for more than 3 years, so as I said, intention is key. And burn the bakhur and apply the itr. Apply the recited itr on top of the oils that you are applying on your body. Our Islamic time for our actions, we do if it is a result of sihr. It depends how serious the sihr is. Depends how serious. So depending on the how it is, how severe it is, inshallah you'll not be accountable. But generally, most of the sihr, you can say 80% of the sihr are not at the severe level, so you will be accountable. But some sihr are very severe, so they are unable to even fast, they are unable to even pray, right? They will not be accountable, inshallah. How do you deal with the family member who has seeked wrong method? I've answered that question. Play the Quran. You do the treatment properly and uprightly, legitimately, and then inshallah leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obviously advise them, buy them books, give them gifts, bond with them, give them lectures, get people who he or she respects to talk to them. Take those means, take those logical, rational, practical means to help and assist them. Because at the end of the day, if you don't help them, they will ruin themselves. They'll ruin themselves and then ruin the family. So you have to help them in the best of ways, in the best of manners. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have a 3-year-old boy and he's showing behavior that I am finding quite concerning. Now I don't know if I'm jumping the gun. I would just like some advice. Recite over him, so falaq an-nas, whilst reciting, wipe over his body, tap his chest like this, tap his back like that, just wipe over his body, his head, his face, blow inside his ear, blow inside his mouth, do the adhan, blow inside his ear, blow inside his mouth, right? And just give him those showers, apply the recited oil, right? And just keep doing that. And if he's still a concern, then obviously take him to an expert raqi, inshallah. Ayman, we done Ayman. Okay, Panna, Bismillah. Unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh. Sorry, I'm just basically speaking on behalf of my wife.
Alaikum assalam.
Basically, my wife was basically asking that, you know, when you feel that you actually can sense something that you're afflicted with, that's in your mind, but you can actually kind of, in some way that you feel like they are behind you or they're around you, like next to you in your house, does that mean that they are actually physically there, or are they just playing with your mind?
The way to know is if you play the Quran, when you feel the presence, play the Quran, or if you already played the Quran, up the volume, put the volume up higher, spray that room or that house or where the presence was felt, spray that area, right? Spray over yourself from head to toe, just spray like this all over yourself. You start Ayatul Kursi, blow inside the hand, and then wipe your body. Beside the Quls, wipe your body, right? And see how you feel. If you feel better immediately, or you feel calm and relaxed immediately, and you feel the presence is gone, then that's spiritual, that's not psychological.
Okay. One other question as well.
One question.
Sorry. Basically, my wife was basically asking is...
One question,
you know, oh, sorry.
Next sister, Safiya Sakina. Sister Safina Sakina? Okay, Hamida. Hamida's iPhone.
Can you hear me, Sheikh?
Yes, I can hear you, sister.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa
I listened to a lecture you did a while ago, and you mentioned putting feet in cold water.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing that. Thing is, my sihr is not just with my legs, although it does affect my legs heavily as well. I wanted just to make sure exactly what the benefits of that is, just so I'm not doing something that might not be benefiting. Although I have, alhamdulillah, I have seen some improvements. I just want to make sure, I just wanted to double check with you what exactly that helps with.
Yeah, basically the jinns, they enter if they have wings, if the shayateen have wings, they enter from the back. If they fly upwards, then they tend to enter through the head. And if they're ground shayateen, then they tend to enter through the legs. Okay, and they live around the legs, ankles, beneath the feet, around your calves, around your knees, around your hips, around your private areas, right? So when you put your legs inside recycled water, black seed oil, and you add the herbs like spices, strong smells, spices, you add them, like ginger, garlic, and so forth, and you recite, then obviously the shayateen who are living in your legs, right, they can't handle that. Yeah, so then you know that, okay, there are some jinns which have entered through the legs, and what you do then is you massage the oils, you do hijam on your legs, and when you recite, you wipe your legs and so forth, and you wipe it downwards for the jinn shayateen to leave. And also usually the ones who give pains on your body, physical pains, they tend to be more earthly shayateen rather than flying shayateen. So they tend to hide between the hips and the legs. So when you put your legs inside the water, it exposes them. Okay, sister? Why did you complain when the... Any other question? Check the chat. What if you became very, very risk averse to making changes in your life, be it change jobs or getting married? Should you get psychotherapy too? Yeah, I always advise to go through the medical route, psychological route, counseling, therapy, even medication. But go through those routes and see if it's working. That's the key thing. Go through those routes consistently, constantly for 2 years. As I always say 2 years, because that's a good number of weeks by which you can see if it's improving. If it's improving, continue. If it's not improving, then see which part of the treatment is improving and focus on those parts. Family support is key also. Make sure there's families and friends helping and assisting you. And obviously continue with your ruqya. See Upper Raqi once a month is very crucial, because when you go to an Upper Raqi, they will advise you, they will encourage you, they will give you the motivation and the drive for you to continue with the treatments. You have to get your family involved though. If there's severe sihr or if there's severe mental medical issues, you have to have your family involved supporting you, even if it means your friends, your colleagues. You have to get them involved. Otherwise, the shayateen, if they're there, they will take advantage of your loneliness. So make sure you take the medical route, counseling, therapy route, right? Especially if you had past traumas, difficult life, and please, brothers and sisters, to take the medical counseling and therapy route, as well as the ruqya route, inshallah ta'ala. And secondly, kindly speak to your families and your friends and your colleagues. Gather the support around you. The more support you have around you, physical, practical support in your treatments, in your tasks, in your jobs interviews, in your going to college and universities, in your assignments, in your coursework, the more support you'll have around you, the more you'll be able to proactively, right, break the sihr that's upon you, right? Like go to swimming, go to horse riding, travel, go to Umrah, go to Hajj. All of these will break the more practical activities you do. Be part of organizations, volunteer for organizations, be part of institutions, volunteer for institutions, be part of your local masjids, volunteer for your local masjids. Brothers and sisters, the more you be active and proactive and productive, the more you'll break the hold of sihr in your soul and in your nafs and in your mind, and the more you will break loose from the shayateen and their plots and their plans. So increase the group of supporters and that network of supporters around you. The more you do that, the more inshallah ta'ala the shayateen will fall back, and eventually they'll have no choice either to die or either to leave you. Question from Abu Hassan: can this type of sihr pass to children cause learning disease? As I said, the only way to find out is by reciting. There's no way you can find out except by reciting, and then if it increases immediately, or if it decreases immediately, or if it improves immediately, then these are some of the signs that they may have the sihr. Otherwise, no. Okay. What do we do with recycled water we have used with ourselves? Are we allowed to let it go down the drains? Yes, you are allowed to let it, because as soon as the Quran touches your body, it touches upon the sihr, it touches upon it impacts on the sihr, it impacts on the evil eye, it impacts on the shayateen. It doesn't remain anymore. So it attacks them, and the Quran attacks them, and that's it. Khalas. The Quran is elevated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't go down the drain. So yes, the water can go down the drain. The Quran is elevated to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to ask how long it might take to get rid of the shayateen that is in love with you, causing separation of your marriage. It's very serious. Magic with physically harms to the person themselves and the spouse also when they did RUQYA on them. Yeah, play the Quran 24 hours in the house, if in average volume. Spray the house, have the ghusl. If it's severe, have ghusl with resided water, cold resided water. The colder the resided water, the more it will impact the shayateen. Okay, so have cold resided showers. If one is not enough, do two. If two is not enough, do 3 a day. 3 showers a day. Then apply lots of black seed oil all over your body. Then apply strong itr all over your body upon the top of the black seed oil, and that will kill the shayateen. It doesn't matter how severe the sihr are and how severe the shayateen is. Okay, then obviously do hijama once a month on your body, upon your head every 3 months, and go and see an upper Iraqi local every single month, inshallah ta'ala. We'll stop here, inshallah. Barakallah feekum. تقبل الله منا ومنكم صالح الأعمال. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all of us who are suffering. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our lives prosperous and healthy and wealthy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us content upon the qadr of Hijj Allah wa ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring the best of results and fruits through this trial. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst the Siddiqun and the Siddiqat who attain the highest levels of the coming life with the Prophet ﷺ and the Sahaba in Jannah, inshallah ta'ala, through this trial. Jazakumullah khair wa sallallahu wa sallama ala nabiyyina wa imamina wa qa'idina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.